Good day everyone. For today I am going to discuss about human person as oriented towards their impending death. Some of us try to avoid discussing about death because of our own reasons that somehow we cannot tell to everyone or we can share to them, but still there is the fear of facing it. In here, you will learn that philosophy is one of the disciplines which cannot totally provide to any of our questions on how are we going to provide ways and means on coping up with this death, but it focuses on what we could do to our lives on different aspects as human persons towards our impending death. We cannot control every situation which we may face, even our death, on how and where we could experience it. We cannot control time to stop it from occurring, but in here, philosophy could help on how are we going to accept this kind of topic and be prepared towards impending death. How can you say that you have a good life? Is it because of the things you wish to have and became true? Is it because of the people who surrounds you? As a matter of fact, sometimes having a good life can lead us to attain our true happiness. Some philosophers said that a good life is about gaining wealth and treasures, or some other people defines as doing the things according to their wants or pleasure without having limitations. It is something that they could have without being controlled by anything or someone. However, people came to recognize things and achieve their desires in life, or he or she must identify first the goals and objectives one must do and be aware of true meaning of life. For Socrates, he believes that a human person must know himself or herself, which could help in identifying or finding the meaning of the present problem, even if it is difficult to understand. He believes that true happiness can be found if we live a virtuous life, having this moral value that could be innate from ourselves, or it can be nurtured from the environment through education. Person who is being immoral became a slave to his or her own desires. One cannot fully understand the effects of just bringing up his needs and wants without thinking the other people who surrounds him or her. You are able to commit mistakes or even hurt other people because of own sake's desires. One cannot identify which is good for him or her because of her own wants. According to Plato, contemplation is very significant to human's life. Contemplation is not being able to become submissive in terms of thinking, but also about doing well in life, which means that we think deeply and act carefully to something that free ourselves from space-time internment. Aristotle considers the life of moderation that we must consider enough things according to our living, since having an excess may lead to evil. Maturity of an individual came from our meaningless way and become purposely in every actions. Some may have difficulties in finding or identifying their purpose in life, but we must know it and anchor choices that will lead to a good life. One must plan several things to better understand own concept of life. That would be the end of everyone's journey. However, when someone is still alive, we must live accordingly, and life is our preparation for that. One must project things he or she really want to do or to accomplish, and this can be known through knowing oneself, through strengths and weaknesses. There are four sides of life by which we need others as human persons, which is about the perception of others, the side which one must accept about the facts on how other person perceive him or her as human person to become more aware and plan for the future. A side which is only known by yourself, which means the characteristics that only own self know about it. And last is the side which is unknown, since our life could be full of many mysteries and discoveries along our journey. People have different views about their own meaning of life. You may learn different philosophers' view on the meaning of life. Life pertains to the significance of living or existence. The meaning of life is derived from philosophical and religious contemplation and scientific inquiries about existence, social ties, consciousness, and happiness. For Friedrich Nietzsche, the meaning of life is to live powerfully and authentically. One can achieve his or her goal of self-fulfillment when he or she experiences life's difficulties. Through these circumstances, we could learn and develop our own weaknesses, thus, we can achieve self-fulfillment. Arthur Schopenhauer. He gave emphasis on the attaining of tranquility or peace of mind from focusing a world which is full of conflict. Each of us know that each is a unique person, but only few have the courage to throw the has and achieve deep realization of own potentials. Martin Heidegger was concerned with the meaning of life. He expressed that we have different outlooks which focuses on the questions on how we can live an authentic life that could bring us to live a meaningful life. It also talks about living with an attitude of respect and reverence or honor with the world. Jean-Paul Sartre explained that our fundamental goal is to cope up with those things that could or might happen, or what we call contingency, to become the greatest foundation of our own being, as his new view. For Sartre, he ends up of being pessimistic or having a lack of hope for the future, as he said that life is meaningless. Through our free choice, we can give life a meaning to some other things. Jean-Paul Sartre considered existentialism as the human person is entirely responsible for his or her own existence. For him, there is no way of coming to terms with others that does not end in frustrations. That is why sometimes we may experience failure in resolving problems that leads to conflict and hatred. Karl Jaspers was the first to address with the question of guilt. His philosophy places the person's temporal existence in the face of transcendence with God. To live an authentic existence requires a leap of faith which defines as freedom and God. Jaspers asked that a person or a human person must be loyal to his or her faith without opposing or attacking the faith of others. Gabriel Marcel focuses on the essence of drama or tension and the essence of music or harmony. He focuses on two kinds of reflection where a human person tries to explore things and develop more of himself or herself even despite of negative things. First is the primary reflection, which looks at the world as a problem, detached from the self and fragment, and becomes the foundation of scientific knowledge, while secondary reflection is being open, using experiences to learn and improve, and it recaptures the unity of original experiences. So that would be all for my discussion. Thank you for listening. God bless everyone.